Good morning, students. How are you all, children? I hope all are fine. Have you learned that previous class portion, children? Do you remember that? Where we leave that portion? Do you remember? Say yes or no, children? Yes. Good, very good, children. Economic importance of bacteria. Am I correct? There are two aspects. One is beneficial aspects and another one is harmful aspects. Am I correct? Harmful aspects, bacteria, they cause some diseases in plant side, human beings, animal side. Am I correct? Beneficial activities of bacteria means there's a three roles there, no? We studied three roles. What are the three roles? One is soil fertility, very good. The next one, very good. They producing antibiotics, clear? Yes, good. The last one is the role of industry. Am I correct? Yes, good. So those who learned, okay, no problem. Others, please try to learn that 3 5-mark question. Clear? Beneficial aspects. Clear? Yes. Today's class we are going to learn about the next topic, archaebacteria. So this archaebacteria, so this comes under one of this primitive prokaryotic organism. Do you know that prokaryotic and eukaryotic organism? 2 or 3 class before we learned this. What is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic organism? Am I correct? So this is one of the primitive prokaryotic organism. So this one is growing in that very extreme environmental condition. So like that hot springs and high salinity and very low pH. So these are the extreme environmental conditions only. These type of the bacteria can grow. Am I correct? Yes. So this bacteria mostly, so this comes under in a hemoautotrophs. Hemoautotrophs means very good. So they preparing food, but that is using the source of energy is the chemical energies. Am I correct? Either organic and inorganic compounds. Clear, children? Yes. So this is one of the unique characteristics of this archaebacteria. The cell wall there they presents in lipids. Okay, that's one of this compound. The lipids and the glycerol is there. So this unique feature of this compound, that's a glycerol and this is the isopropanol. Glycerol and isopropanol. So these chemical substances they present in the cell membrane or cell wall. So this one is giving in a resistant capacity. The resistant capacity means, so there is an antibiotic resistant. Some of the lytic agencies are entering means, so that time they giving that resistance power. So these are clear, children. So this is the right note on archaebacteria means write few points only. It's a book is they are given 2 or 3 points, so that's the points only, right? Clear? Then what are the examples of archaebacteria means? So holobacterium, mycoplasma. So these are the bacterial names, the examples of the bacteria. They comes under in archaebacteria. Clear, children? Can you say that examples of archaebacteria? Very good. Holobacteria, mycoplasma. So these are the things. Okay. The next one is we are going to learn about. The next one of this is small topic. Cyanobacteria. Clear? Cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria. So this cyanobacteria is also called, the name is known as Cyanophyceae. Okay, cyanobacteria. So that is also called, that name is known as Cyanophyceae. That's a class name is we are called that algal means. So there is comes under in so many classification. So there we are called that's Cyanophyceae classification. Understood? So this cyanobacteria is commonly we are called, that's one name is blue-green algae. What is the name? Blue-green algae. So cyanobacteria commonly we are called that's a very good blue-green algae. So this one is photosynthetic in nature. Very good. So this one is comes under in a prokaryotic organism. Good. So the next one. So in this evolutionary character. Okay. So first one is, so this is the photosynthetic and then prokaryotic organism. So according to that evolutionary characters based of this cyanobacteria, so they are representing in many forms. So there most of this different habitats also there. Different habitats like means, so most of the species are they living in that is the freshwater facilities. Few species are they living in that marine water. Clear? So what are the examples of this condition? This different habitats means trichodesmium, dermocarpa. So these are the certain species names of cyanobacteria. Clear? Here this trichodesmium, so this one is they giving that a red color. So this one is they giving that a red color to the Red Sea. Okay, the Red Sea area they get it in that red color, so due to this presence of this cyanobacteria. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Then also nostoc, anabina, so that's a certain species, the nostoc, anabina. So this also they performing the symbiotic association. The symbiotic association means so that one is the fixing of this nitrogen. Okay, the nitrogen, the fixing of this bacteria. So that's a major role for that one is that's an endophytic life. These are the species, the endophytic life. The endophytic life means that's the best one of this example. The coralloid root that is present in that is cycas plants. So that's one of the examples of this symbiotic association. And also that's one of this aquatic fern variety, Azolla species. Okay, that's a leaf of Azolla. There only the below that region, the leaves below that region, they present that anabina. So these are the most of the species they perform, they are giving in that is endophytic life. Clear, children? So this is the some additional points about this cyanobacterium. Understood, ma? Say yes or no, ma? Yes. The next one is we are going to learn about that's the salient features of cyanobacteria. Salient features of cyanobacteria. What are the salient features of cyanobacteria means? First one is, already you know that point. First one is, so the most of the bacteria so they comes under a prokaryotic organism. Prokaryotic organism and there no motile spores. Okay, so there no motile spores are present. So that's a no motile form of the reproductive organs are absent in this species. First one is this is the prokaryotic organism. No motile type of the reproductive structures are absent. Clear, children? Say yes or no? So then the next one is the cell forms. The cell forms it maybe comes under a unicellular. Unicellular means that's one of the best example, Cocciococcus, and colonial forms, Cleocapsa, and filamentous trichomes forms. So that is the one best example, nostoc. Clear? So these are the forms they present in the cell structures. Clear, children? Yes. The next one is gilding movement. Gilding movements. First one, what are the general characteristic features of cyanobacteria? First one is, this is the prokaryotic organism. There is no motile type of the reproductive structures are absent. Then, so the second one, very good. So that's the unicellular form. So maybe colonial form. It may be trichomes. That's a very good. That's a filamentous type of the trichome is present. Clear? The next one is gilding movement. Gilding movement. What does mean by gilding movement? What does mean by gilding movement? Means already I told that. So here there is absence of this motile form of the reproductive cells. Am I correct? So how to this moving of this organism? How to this moving of this bacteria means? So they use protoplasm to move. Am I correct? So that's known as the gilding movements. The protoplasm, using of this protoplasm to move that species. So that's we are called the gilding movement. This is one of the good example, oscillatoria. This is one of the good example, oscillatoria. That's one of the good example of this species. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Yes, very good. The next one is their presence that is protoplasm. Protoplasm. Protoplasm in this species, they present in a two type of protoplasm. One is centroplasm, and another one is chromoplasm. Okay. First one is centroplasm and another one is chromoplasm. Centroplasm is central region they present, that protoplasm is known as centroplasm. Chromoplasm, so this one is present in the peripheral region. Just that one is they bears that first chromophore. The chromophores only they produces in the outermost region. They found that protoplasm is known as chromoplasm. Understood no? Say yes or no? Yes. The next one is, so mostly the presence in the photosynthetic pigments. So their presence in the phycocyanin and phycoerythrin. Okay, phycocyanin and phycoerythrin, along with that mixoxanthin and mixoxanthophil, that also the pigments are, photosynthetic pigments are present. Clear? What is the reserved food materials of this cyanobacteria? This is a Synovian starch. Synovian starch is present in the reserved food materials. Clear children? Synovian starch is present in the reserved food material. The next one, what is the next general characteristic features of this cyanobacteria? Here, the reproduction only takes place in a vegetative types. Here, the reproductions of this bacterial cell only takes place in a which type children? Vegetative methods only. Vegetative methods. The vegetative methods, what are the methods to reproduce in that vegetative cells? First, they are forming in actinides and harmoconia, and third one we know that fission, and fourth one endosperm. They form that endosperms. Clear? Actinides means that's a thick-walled dormant cell. Okay, so that is they get it from that's vegetative cells. Clear? That's actinides. Harmoconia means, so this type of this reproductive vegetative cells, that's a filament type. So the first this filament type is get detached, that's separated from the parent one. Clear? After that produces in that is the vegetative types. Clear children? So there takes place in that is the cell division method. So yeah, they takes place in that cell division method. Then fission and endosperm, already we learned this bacteria. That's you got it, that a clear idea about in that region. Clear children? Yes. The next one is we are going to learn about this. Very good. The reproduction, the sexual method of reproduction is absent. The sexual method of reproduction is absent in which type of bacteria? Cyanobacterial cell. Clear, ma? Yes. Then we are going to learn about this. 2 mark question, children. Very, very important 2 mark question. One is heterocystis. And the next one is why we are calling this Cyanophaceae members is called Mixophaceae. Understood, ma'am? The first one, what does mean by heterocyst? Here, in some forms of the bacterial cell, suppose that's a filamentous forms of this bacterial cells means, in certain condition, they produces in a large colorless cell. Okay, large colorless cell. Either that is present in the terminal region or that is in certain condition that is present in the intercalary position. Terminal means, very good, or that's an intercalary position. They are present in a large colorless form of the cell. So that is we are called as, the name is known as heterocyst. Understood children? So just imagine, so this is the, very good, no stop means, so here this is a, which type of the cell is we are called, the name is known as heterocyst means, in this, some forms of this bacterial cell, the large colorless cell is they produces in a, they either terminal or intercalary position, that particular cell is, we are called, that name is known as heterocyst. Understood, children? Yes. Next one we are called that why Cyanophyllaceae members. Cyanophyllaceae. So that members is called, the name is known as Mixophyllaceae. Here this cells, very good, that's a mucilaginous substance. So this is the form of the bacterial cell. That's a mucilaginous, that's one gum-like substance. Okay, that substances, they around, that's a thallus, they cover this item. So that's why this Cyanophyllaceae members is called, the name is known as Mixophyllaceae. This is one of the 2 mark question. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Oh, what is heterocyst? And the next one is why Cyanophyllaceae members is called, the name is known as Mixophyllaceae. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no, children? Yes. The next one, some species of microcystis, examples of this Cyanophyllaceae members, microcystis and Anabina. So these are the species, they cause water blooms, and then this they produces in a toxin. The toxin is producing means, so totally, so that area, I mean, so that's area affect, and then affecting of this, mostly that's aquatic organisms are affected for this type of the cyanobacteria. That's the example is microcystis and Anabina species. Okay, microcystis and Anabina. Then another one more, that's a very good one of this biofertilizer, they are using this Cyanophyllaceae members, Nostoc and Anabina. Okay, Nostoc and Anabina, so there is that's capacity to fixing that nitrogen, so that's why they are used for that biofertilizer in the field. Understood, children? Yes. Next one of this important species, Spirulina. Spirulina, they present a rich amount of protein. So that species, they contain that rich amount of protein. So that's why they are using that as a single cell protein production. That's very one of the important item. So that production, they are using that species. That's what is the example of the species? Very good. Spirulina. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. So first one, you learn about that's introduction section. What is a Cyanophyllaceae? Okay, what is called that Cyanophyllaceae? What are the different forms is present? Okay, or some examples. Fresh water means what's the example, and marine water means what is the example. Then finally you have to be learn about that's one of the lengthiest portion. That's what are the salient features of. Very good. What are the salient features of Cyanophyllaceae members? Clear? Yes. Next one is we are going to learn about that's next topic. Mycoplasma. The next topic, mycoplasma. Mycoplasma are called that molecules. Molecules. Okay. Mycoplasma are molecules. Write short notes on this, also one of the important 3 mark question. So sometimes they will ask that this question 2 types. Write note on mycoplasma. So another one pattern. So this one diagram is given in your textbook, children. So that is they are asking that 3 mark question. Compulsory questions. Some maybe they will ask. Draw and label the structure of mycoplasma. Clear? Draw and label the structure of mycoplasma. So first of all, so this mycoplasma is very small size. Okay, the size is mentioning in it 0.1 to 0.5 μm. Okay, that's the size. So this is pleomorphic. What does mean by pleomorphic? Pleomorphic means, so that's a changing, often they're changing the shapes. So that's why this is called pleomorphic. This is the gram-negative bacterium. Okay, so this is the gram-negative bacterium. Who invented or who discovered this mycoplasma? Knockout and the co-workers. Okay, Knockout and the co-workers in the year of 1898. They discovered in that year, that's 1898. Okay, 1898. Clear? Yes. From which one they are got it this mycoplasma? So that's a cattle field. So that's a floral fluid. That's a floral fluid. From that regions only they are obtained. This is the mycoplasma. Clear? So this one is affecting in that is one of this disease. That's a disease name is known as bovine pneumonia. Bovine pneumonia. Okay. Pneumonia, bovine pneumonia. This is caused that one of the animal diseases. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Then what about the remaining points means mycoplasma? There is no cell wall, children. Cell membrane is there, no cell wall. Clear? Then so this is the microorganism. This is the organism. Their presence in the DNA, but that DNA, their presence in that nucleotide, the cytosine, guanine, adenine, am I correct? So these are the nucleotide, their low content of the cytosine and guanine, okay? Cytosine and guanine, that is the very low content is present in this DNA. Understood, children? Then how look, this one is the culture medium. This is the mycoplasma. How will you look that's culture medium is? That's a fried egg-like natures. Okay? So how will you identify that one? Fried egg-like natures only. The presence in a culture medium. Culture medium. Understood, ma? Say yes or no, children? Yes. So this mycoplasma they causing in a certain diseases in plant side and animal side. Animal side already we learned that's a cattle field. They cause that diseases is pneumonia. This pneumonia that is caused by that's a species name is Mycoplasma mycoides. Okay, mycoplasma mycoids. Okay, mycoplasma mycoids that is causing in that's a pneumonia. That's a diseases that's affecting the host is the cattle field. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Certain there's a plant diseases there comes certain a little leaf of brinjal and sandal spike, and then there's the phyllodia of cloves varieties. So these are the certain names they are mentioning in the plant diseases they caused by mycoplasma. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Yes. So the next one of this very important one of the 3 mark question. Draw and label the structure of mycoplasma. Okay, draw and label the structure of mycoplasma. Clear? Yes. So here, first of all, so this is the one cell means imagine. So this is a cell membrane. Okay, so this is the cell membrane. You just draw this like structures, children. First of all, draw the outermost layer. Then here you fill it this like. Okay, just draw this like. Very good. Okay, so this is the cell membrane. Completely you fill it. Clear? This is a cell membrane region. Then inside there is the presence in a very good. So this is what is it? DNA strand. Very good, children. DNA strand. So this also completely you fill it. So this is this like structures only representing in a DNA strand. Clear, ma? Understood? So this is the cell membrane. This is a DNA strand. Then inside the DNA strand and also outside this is the region. Just you put it this like structures. So this is called what is that? Very good, ribosomes. Okay, so this is called ribosomes. Understood, ma? So this is the structure of very easiest diagram, children. So this is the structure of mycoplasma. That's all. Understood? Yes, very good. The next one is we are moving. That is the next topic, actinobacteria. The next one is we are moving to actinobacteria. Actinobacteria that is comes under in the classification of actinomycetes. Okay, actinomycetes class only they come in actinobacteria. Actinobacteria. So this comes under an actinomycetes class. Okay, yes. So this actinomycetes means, so this is called, the name is known as cyanobacteria. That's the members we are calling that is blue-green algae. Am I correct? So this one is we are called that is a ray fungi. Why we are called that's a ray fungi means, all of you listen now. So this bacterium, that's just like the fungi means, so that's a mycelial like growth. Okay, so that's why this bacteria is called, the name is known as ray fungi. Clear? So this is the anaerobic bacteria, or that is the facultative anaerobic microorganisms. So the next one, so this is comes under in a gram-positive type of bacteria. Already mycoplasma gram-negative type, so that's a pleomorphy, that's a changing of the shapes. Clear? So this one is, they comes under in a gram-positive type of microorganisms. Understood, children? Yes. So then, so that's a mycoplasma. Their DNA, their presence in a nucleotide, cytosinin and guanine, that is very low content is present. But here, this type of this actinobacterium, so their DNA content is the presence in higher amount of this cytosine and guanine substance. Clear? Cytosine and guanine, that's a nucleotide, that's a content is the presence in a very high amount. Clear? Say yes or no, ma? Yes, very good. So this is one of the good examples, the high amount of DNA that is present in the cytosine and guanine content presence in one of the species name is known as Streptomyces. Okay, Streptomyces. So this one is one of the fungal species. We are getting in the one of this good antibiotics. Very good antibiotics we are obtained from this is the group. Clear, children? Yes. Streptomyces. Streptomyces, so that is the presence in that, what is that, very good one of this nature is the mycelial like structure is forming in this species still, right? So that's why this one giving that one order, the earthy order. So mostly the Streptomyces, the fungal organism, the Streptomyces of this species, they so abundantly they presence in the soil. Clear? But the soil after that rainy seasons. Okay, after that rainy season, so this Streptomyces species they giving in the earthy order. Then the earthy order. Why this order is, the smell is giving in this species means their presence in one of this organic compound, volatile organic compound, that's organic compound, the name is known as geomycin. Okay, so these organic compound, due to this compound, so that's why the Streptomyces species, they give to this, the soil, they give that to one of this earthy order. Clear, children? Then from this group, we are getting in a main antibiotics. What are the antibiotics means? Streptomycin and tetracycline. So this is the very important 2 mark question. Sometimes they will ask that from the Streptomyces species, so what are the antibiotics we are obtaining? So you write that Streptomycin and tetracycline. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Say yes or no, ma? Yes. The next one is the species. The example of this name is Fungia. So this is one of the good symbiotic association they performing in, that is the actinobacteria. Okay. So this Fungia, they produce us in the root nodules. Okay. The root nodules, and using in that is the nitrogen in the non-leguminous plants. Okay, so they produce us in the root nodules, and also they produce us in that is the some nitrogen fixation in that is the non-leguminous plants. Non-leguminous plants like what is that, Alnus, Casuarina. These are the species names. Okay, they forming in that is the they store that nitrogen compounds. Clear, children? Say yes or no? They producing in that's a microsporangial. The multicellular microsporangium also they produce for this species. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Yes. The next one is, we are moving, that is a fungi. You heard this word fungi, children? Say yes or no? You heard this word fungi. Do you heard this word fungi? Yes. All are heard. Am I correct? Yes. Good. Good, children. Fungi. First of all, this fungal species, most of the species we are get that good antibiotics. Okay, It's a syllabus they are mentioning in one of the important antibiotics named penicillin. Okay, that's penicillin obtained from that is the Penicillium notatum, one of the fungal organism. Penicillium notatum only we are obtained. This is the antibiotics penicillin. This penicillin discovered by the antibiotic discovered, this person name is known as Alexander Fleming. Clear? Alexander Fleming. Then this person, they are discovered in that antibiotic, that's penicillin, that's antibiotic, that's discovered in the year of 1928. 1928. This Second World War, the persons, that's the good important one of this penicillin antibiotics, they get it in the form of powdered form. That's a color is yellow. That's a yellow color of this powdered form of this penicillin. That is a save that's a life of shoulders. Okay. They are also very important role for this penicillin antibiotics. Understood, children? So that person, Alexander Fleming, that person, they got it that Nobel Prize for this antibiotics penicillin in the year of 1945. In the year of 1945. Clear? So these are some introduction about that fungi. The next one, the fungal word that is derived from this Greek word. Clear? What is the meaning of this fungi? Means mushroom. That's the meaning is mushroom. Clear, children? The Greek meaning, the fungi is known as mushrooms. Then where are the regions present this fungi? Means everywhere, ubiquitous. It's everywhere they present that fungi. This is eukaryotic organism, heterotrophic organisms, non-chlorophyllous. Clear? What about that characteristic features of fungi? Very good. This is a non-chlorophyllous, eukaryotic organism. They present everywhere. Understood, children? Very good. This comes under one of the major eukaryotic organisms. The fungal organisms they comes under in a eukaryotic type. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Then the cellular type means, so that is comes under in they existing in the forms of unicellular and multicellular in nature. Understood? Then what is mean by ecology? What is mean by ecology? What is mean by ecology means, sorry, not ecology, mycology, mycology. What is mean by mycology means, the study of fungi is known as mycology. Okay? The study of fungi is known as mycology. Who is the founder of mycology? P.A. Mitchell. So that's the person only, the founder of this mycology. Clear? Then who is the father of Indian mycology? That's a person name is known as Butler. Clear? P.A. Mitchell, that's all over, that's a founder of mycology. Who is the father of Indian mycology? Very good, Butler. Okay? E.J. Butler. That's a person only. That's a Indian father of Indian mycology. Understood, children? Yes. The next one is we are going to learn about in a certain general characteristic features of fungi. General characteristic features of fungi. So first of all, the general characteristic features means what is mean by hyphae? That's the main important term. What is mean by hyphae? Hyphae means most of the fungal organism, most of the species, most of the forms, they are thin filamentous branch-like structures. Okay, very thin filamentous branch-like structures. They are present in that one. So that is we are called the fungal organism is known as the hyphae. Okay. But what is hyphae? What is hyphae? This a thin filamentous branch-like structures are called fungi. Clear, children? Yes. The next one, what is mean by mycelium? This number of the hyphae, the number of hyphae cell, okay, the number of the hyphae cell interwoven Interwoven means, so that's interlinked with each other. Clear? So finally it forms that mycelium. Understood, ma? Say yes or no? Very good, children. The next one, what does mean by chitin? What does mean by chitin? First one, second one is mycelium. Then second one is chitin. Chitin, this fungal cell wall, their presence in a polysaccharides. Okay. Which type of polysaccharides means that's one of the polymer of N-acetyl glucosamine molecules. Clear? But that polysaccharide is present in that fungal cell wall. That's we are called, the name is known as chitin. These three terms are very, very important. First, general characters. Okay. What is hyphae? What is mycelium? What is chitin? Clear? The first point is over. Then second point. So here, the fungal organism, due to presence of septa, presence and either presence or absent. So that base they are called, that's two names. One is cenocytic mycelium and another one is septate mycelium. Cenocytic mycelium means, so absence of septa. So just imagine this is one of the fungal organism means. So here the septum is presence means, so that is we are called as septate mycelium. Without septa means, so that is we are called as cenocytic mycelium. So first of all, what does mean by cenocytic mycelium? Cenocytic mycelium. Cenocytic mycelium. Cenocytic, so here that O is silent, okay? The O is silent. Cenocytic mycelium. This cenocytic mycelium, they present in a lower fungal organism. Lower fungal organism, okay? There they presence in the septa is absent, that's a aseptate condition. Their presence in a multinucleate structures. Multinucleate presence means that is we are called a cenocytic mycelium. Understood, children? Septate mycelium means how will it presence? The septate mycelium means the fungal, the cells of the hyphae, between their presence in that one just O-like nature, children. So that is we are called that, what is that? Septate mycelium. Septate mycelium. So this one is the presence in a higher form of this fungal organism. Higher fungi, this is present. This one is lower fungal organism. Lower fungal organism. Understand? Cenocytic mycelium, listen carefully, children. Cenocytic mycelium, that's a lower fungal organism. Without septa, their presence in a multinucleate structure. That is we are called a cenocytic mycelium. Septate mycelium. Septate mycelium. So this one is the present. The hyphal cells, the cells of the hyphae, their presence in a septum. Clear? So this is presence in a higher form of this fungal organisms. Clear, children? So that is we are called the septate mycelium. The best examples of this lower form of this organism, I mean, so that's a cenocytic mycelium. And the example is albugo. Albugo. So this one is the higher form of this fungal organism, the septate mycelium condition. So there is one of the good examples. Fusarium. Fusarium. Understood, ma? Yes. Next one, that's the third general characteristic features of fungal organism. The third point of this general characteristic features of organism. Very good. So here, this fungal organism, the fungal mycelium, there is arrangements that's organizing into that. Certain times there is loosely arranged, certain times there is the compactly arranged. But either that's compactly or loosely, interwoven of this fungal tissues is called placenchyma. But the arrangement organization, that based they are divided into two types. Clear? The first one, what is placenchyma? What is placenchyma? What is placenchyma? Placenchyma means, so that's a mycelium, fungal mycelium that is organized into, very good, loosely or compactly integrated, and then this interwoven of this fungal tissues is called placenchyma. This placenchyma is two. One is prosenchyma, and another one is pseudoparenchyma. Pseudoparenchyma. Prosenchyma means, so here that's a fungal organism that's a loosely arranged, but that's parallel to one another. Clear? Prosenchyma, that's a loosely arrangement of this mycelium, the hyphal cell, but parallel to one another. That's the condition is known as prosenchymema. Pseudoparenchyma, this is loosely arranged. Finally, that's a compactly arranged, but lose their identity. Okay, the pseudoparenchyma. So that's mean. So that's a compactly arranged. Finally, that's a form is the compactly arranging of this hyphal set, but that losing that's the identification. Understood, children? Yes. The next one is reproductions of this general characters of fungi. The reproduction means, so this is comes under two type of reproduction, children. One is asexual type, and another one is sexual type. Both the phases takes place. Okay. So here we learn about what do you mean by anamorph. What do you mean by anamorph? Anamorph means asexual phases takes place means, so that is we are called anamorph. What does mean by telomorph? Telomorph means, so that's a sexual phase of reproduction is called telomorph. What does mean by holomorph? Holomorph. Okay. So what does mean by holomorph in both the phases? Asexual, both the phases, asexual and sexual reproduction takes place means that's we are called, that's a holomorph. These are the two types. Okay. Then just before that, learn that only one point, children. What do you mean by eucorpic and holocorpic? Eucorpic and holocorpic. All of you listen, children. Holocorpic means the entire thallus they interchanged, they changed into reproductive structures means that is we are called a holocorpic form. Okay. Okay. What do you mean by holocorpic form? So the entire thalluses they changed into reproductive structures. Clear? Then eucorpic form means, so some regions of the thallus they changed into reproductive, remains the vegetative structures. Clear, children? So this is the two terms of eucorpic and holocorpic form. Understood, ma? Then the sexual reproduction means that one is they takes place in the three methods. What are the three methods means? Plasmogamy, karyogamy and meiosis. First one, the fusion of two protoplasm means that's we are called plasmogamy. Karyogamy means, very good, that's a fusion of two nucleus, and the how to that's producing the haploids first, that's through in this process of meiosis evolution. Understood, ma? Yes. So these are the topics we learned this general characteristic features of fungi. So next class, please all of you try to learn some important 2 mark question. Clear, children? Yes, very good. What is mean by archaebacteria? What is actinobacteria? Draw and label the structure of mycoplasma. Clear? Then write note on mycoplasma. Then what is fungi? What are the characteristic features of fungi? Clear? Then what are the general characters? General characters, so many 2 more questions are there. Understood, children? What is chitin? What is hyphae? What is mycelium? What is sinusoidal mycelium? Very good. What is mean by septate mycelium? What is holocorpic form? Very good. What is eucorpic form? Anamorph, telomorph, holomorph. So these all the terms you prepare. You must prepare 2 mark based. Clear, children? Very good, children. Thank you, students.